When it comes to the Sith, the big bad villains of the Star Wars universe, there's more than one way to skin a Jedi. Some Sith were strong in the Force, while others wielded sinister magic or huge political influence. So who comes out on top when you add it all up? Here are the most powerful Sith ever. Freedon Nadd. Freedon Nadd was a Jedi in the days of the Old Republic, with Force talents far beyond any of his peers. While training, he became jealous of his Jedi Master's power and authority, so in true Sith fashion, he killed him and renounced his affiliation with the Jedi. Man, what a baby. Nadd was trained in the ways of the dark side by Naga Sadow, a Sith Lord living in exile. After his death, Freedon Nadd's ghost continued to manipulate events from beyond the grave. Marka Ragnos. Marka Ragnos was a Sith Lord who grew tired of the Sith's unwillingness to expand beyond their homeworld of Korriban. His reign was ruthless and brutal, but most of the time, he achieved victory without raising a finger. A master of manipulation, Ragnos set his adversaries against one another, using their mutually assured destruction to clear an easy path for the Sith. And his story didn't end with his death either. As a Force ghost, he pitted Sith Lords against each other for the honor of becoming the official Dark Lord.
You will kneel before me, Jedi.
Darth Bane. Darth Bane is the Star Wars Expanded Universe's version of a founding father when it comes to the dark side of the Force. As the last surviving member of the Sith Brotherhood of Darkness, Bane started a new Sith order and decided to pass his knowledge on to a single apprentice, establishing the rule of two that the Sith Lords have followed ever since.
The Sith killed each other, victims of their own greed. But from the ashes of destruction, I was the last survivor. I chose to pass my knowledge on to only one.
Darth Vader. As Anakin Skywalker, the man who would become Darth Vader was expected to become the most powerful Force user of all time, as he had the highest midichlorian count ever recorded.
I heard Yoda talking about midichlorians. I've been wondering, what are midichlorians?
Let's not get into that. But anyway, after massacring the students of the Jedi Academy, Anakin was severely wounded by his master Obi-Wan Kenobi, and as the cyborg Vader, he lost some of his connection to the Force. Still, he had perhaps the most impressive power of all, terrifying generations of moviegoers.
I find your lack of faith disturbing.
Darth Nihilus. The dark side of the Force can be seen as a metaphor for addiction. Darth Nihilus offers a perfect example. After he was caught in the detonation of the superweapon known as the Mass Shadow Generator, which destroyed the planet Malachor 5, Nihilus's body was wrecked. He was left with an insatiable craving for Force energy, essentially turning him into a Force vampire. Yikes. Revan. Like so many other Sith, Revan also started as a Jedi. He turned to the dark side after the Jedi Council refused to protect the lives of Outer Rim innocents caught in the Mandalorian Wars. Over their objections, Revan assembled a large Jedi defense team, helping the Republic win the war, but leading him down the dark path to corruption. He eventually embraced the light side again and helped defeat the Sith.
I've known both sides of the Force, light and dark.
Darth Sidious. Better known to most fans as Emperor Palpatine, Darth Sidious rose to power thanks to ruthless cunning. After murdering his master Darth Plagueis, the Emperor hid in plain sight as the benevolent galactic senator from Naboo, secretly orchestrating the Clone Wars, which allowed him to consolidate political power. Darth Sidious corrupted Anakin Skywalker and virtually wiped the Jedi out of existence, turning the table after thousands of years of Jedi dominance over the Sith.
I'm afraid the deflector shield will be quite operational when your friends arrive.
Darth Plagueis. Darth Plagueis wasn't the most skilled Force user, nor was he a military leader or particularly good with a lightsaber. Instead, Plagueis was a scholar and a scientist who focused his scholarly efforts on a single pursuit: how to manipulate the Force and midichlorians in a way that would allow him to live forever and possibly even bring the dead back to life.
Darth Plagueis was a Dark Lord of the Sith, so powerful and so wise, he could use the Force to influence the midichlorians to create life.
With control over life itself, Plagueis feared only one thing: losing his power, which he did when his apprentice Darth Sidious killed him in his sleep. Some fans theorize, however, that Plagueis has returned in Star Wars The Force Awakens as the evil Sith Lord Snoke. Sounds like bad news for Rey.
Bring her to me.
Darth Vitiate. The original Emperor, Darth Vitiate, tricked the other Sith Lords into helping him perform a ritual that allowed him to absorb the life force of every other living being on his home planet. The ritual granted Vitiate immortality and immense power, which he used to found a galaxy-spanning Sith Empire, ruling it with an iron fist for 1,300 years.
I have forged this empire to surmount all of my previous works, to span eternity.
Yeah, Palpatine had his moments for a few decades, but when it comes to Sith Emperors, there's really no contest. You can't beat a dude with 1,300 years under his belt.
I am awakened, and I bring with me death.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to watch more videos like the one you just saw, and leave us a comment to let us know which Sith Lord you think is the most powerful ever.